Coming up in this edition of updates and channel news from Wi-Fi Sheep, we have a new kernel and custom PCBs for TinyBASIC computers, a new website for wifi-sheep.co.uk, the C64 we're now playing with power, and public shows where, when and how. Hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tom and we're here with another channel updates video. It's been a few months and there's a lot of things been happening. What I like to do in these videos is just go over some loose ends and some bits of channel news that don't really make a video in their own right, and also we do a bit of comments feedback from you in the wider community. As always, I'd like to start by welcoming all the brand new viewers that have joined us and subscribed to us here on Wi-Fi Sheep. Thank you so much for your continued support and company. It really means a lot to me and it really does help out this channel. I know you hear a lot of YouTubers say thanks for liking and subscribing, it helps the channel, but the strange way that Google YouTube works, every time people like and subscribe, it actually really does help out this channel. So I honestly appreciate it. Before we go on, I'll also point out that I've had to go away for a few days and I didn't have time to make this video before I had to leave. So I'm actually on the webcam on my laptop and I'm in the guest room where I'm staying. So please excuse the slightly dodgy sound, lighting and camera on this particular video. But I hope, you can excuse me on that, and I needed to get this done because I needed to get this news out to you as soon as possible. So let's start with TinyBASIC Computers. Now this project started last year. No, actually tell a lie, it started 2019, just before the pandemic, when I took a scrap 6502 processor out of a Acorn BBC Micro and wired it up to see if it was possible to create a sort of simple home programmable computer without actually having any major electronics or engineering experience. Little did I know that this project would just snowball and balloon and I'd be starting my own mini 8-bit revolution. But so many of you have actually come on board and have really gone for the project and have joined us on our Facebook group. If you haven't done already, it's facebook.com/groups/WFS TinyBASIC. Last time we did a upgrade from the solderless breadboards to our very first custom board. And I have it here, and we did this in conjunction with Wi-Fi Sheep's partners and sponsors, PCBgogo.com. Ever since I showed this board, I have been inundated with many messages from you asking where can you get hold of the custom PCBs as you want to build this particular computer. Well, if you remember in that video, we had a slight problem that I actually messed the design up, so I had to bodge it to make it work properly. So I didn't want to actually release this particular board because, well, it didn't work. Now, to their credit, PCBgogo have been absolutely fantastic in supporting this project. I just want to say a huge thank you to them. The plan is now, I'm currently working on a revised version 2 of the PCB, which adds a couple of new features to make it future-proof and also fixes a lot of what were my personal mistakes. This PCB will be available as part of our TinyBASIC Computers toolkit, so if you join us on Patreon through our $3 general downloads tier on Patreon, that's patreon.com/Wi-Fi Sheep. There'll soon be a new folder on the zip download, which will be a separate zip, and this will contain all the drill and Gerber files for the PCB. Working with PCBgogo.com through the affiliate link, which you'll find in the description of this video, it'll be possible for you to sign up for a new account for free, which you can do now. Follow the link below this video. Join the Patreon, and as part of the toolkit, you'll find a zip, which you don't have to unzip. You can simply click and drag onto PCBgogo's website, and the company will be set up to then make custom versions of the board, identical clones to what I've had here, or the new version of this, and now make those up for you specially and ship them to your door. The costs, well, these boards cost me $5. They're a $1 each. It's a minimum order of 5 PCBs. They cost $1 each, and shipping is about, depends where you are in the world, but it's about $23 to $30. So it's not expensive by any stretch of imagination, and you will be able to get hold of your own custom versions of the PCBs thanks to our partners at PCBgogo.com. As I mentioned, please do sign up to them. The affiliate link from Wi-Fi Sheep is in the description to this video. Staying with TinyBASIC Computers, we have a new kernel software for all builds of the system, which will be out very shortly. It's called version 3.0 alpha. If you're on the Patreon with the toolkit, you've already had access to it for about a month now. We're going to be launching it next month. That's July 2021, and it will work on all variations. And we'll be doing a follow-up video right here on the channel to show you about all the new improvements with the last free version that you can get hold if you join our Facebook group. Again, the address is facebook.com/groups/WFS TinyBASIC. Thank you so much to all of you that have already joined the group. We have a great little community going on there, and that is where you'll get all the latest updates and any additional free software available as part of the project. I would also like to draw your attention to another project I've been working on quietly behind the scenes, which is an update to our standalone website, which you can now visit at www.wifisheep.co.uk. Brand new website, nothing fancy, but it works and it's compatible with desktop and also mobile platforms, and it brings together all our projects and social media spaces into one place that you can easily navigate through our own website. The advantage of having our own site is obviously I've also got a space I can publish content free of any social media platforms, and there's some things that don't quite fit a Facebook or don't fit a YouTube, so I do have plans for additional content on the website. There you'll also find all the sort of sublinks to all our video series, and if you're a Patreon subscriber, you've got quick links to all the different Patreon perks and packages that we actually offer. So do go and check it out. That's wifisheep.co.uk. Okay, so the last video we did, which was we had another look at the C64, which is the clone Commodore 64 system. It came out from Retro Games Limited back in 2019, and we had a quick look at seeing about doing the latest post-Christmas update for the system. And also I said about I was having issues with the power supplies. Well, many of you got in touch with me either through Facebook or here on YouTube with your suggestions. And the general consensus is very interesting. It's suggesting that if you run it with a power supply that's 5 volts and over 2 amps, that's amps not volts, the system has problems, which is really, really weird. You'd think the more amps, the better it would be, but obviously not. So the general consensus we have with this is you can run between 1.5 and 2 amps, and that seems to be fine. If you go over 2 amps, that's let's say 2.5, which is what the Raspberry Pi 3 power transformer uses, apparently it has problems as I exhibited. Don't know what it is about. Someone has suggested to me in the comments I should scope the machine or scope the power supplies to find out what's going on. I might do that. I haven't really got time. It's not a priority, but I just thought I would let you all know that that's the state of play at the moment. So my recommendation is either use the power transformer that came with the unit, or you can use something like a Raspberry Pi power transformer, one of the off-brand ones for the Pi 2, which is normally around the 5 volts, 2 amps, and that seems to be fine with the C64. Now let me bring you up to date on what we're doing with public shows and outings, because I haven't a clue. I've got to be honest with you. Everything I'm about to tell you pretty much relates only to the United Kingdom, so it doesn't apply to anywhere else in the world, and the information I'm about to talk about is part speculation. It's not fact, it's not news, so please take everything I'm about to tell you with a big grain of salt, because it's probably not going to work out quite this way. But at the moment, it seems all the Raspberry Pi Jam events, those were the Raspberry Pi orientated computer club code things that used to meet on evenings in libraries and schools, the whole thing is shut down basically across the UK. There's been no physical meetings because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, I'm not going to name names or quote people because that wouldn't be fair, but I've had some conversations with some of the Raspberry Pi Jam owners or operators, and I've also seen some things that have been published publicly on social media. And I've got to be honest with you, it's not looking good. If these shows actually ever restart is up for debate. The problem being is even if the organisers want to run them again, will people want to come to them anymore? Have we kind of passed the bubble now of the sort of coding, computing revolution? Is this now the end of it? Who knows? But also the fact is the venues have put the prices up. So venues that used to be very cheap or free to these clubs are now full-blown commercial rates. And that doesn't work for a lot of these non-commercial, free to visit, free to attend, voluntary-led organisations. This could kill it dead, unfortunately. And it's not looking good at this time. As for sort of wider public exhibitions, the sort of shows we like to do, I'm hoping we might be able to do something here in the UK come September, October. But there's been rumours, especially from right-wing commentators and journalists here in the UK, that the government has a lockdown plan. This is the UK government for the UK for autumn or fall periods, so coming into early winter. If that is true, and again, I have to stress, it's just speculation, but if that's true, that's pretty much the entire hope of any public exhibitions for this year done. Personally myself, I have now had my first vaccine. I've been quite late in the list of getting one, but I've now had my first of 2 vaccine jabs, so I should be fully vaccinated myself come the sort of beginning of September this year. I'd like to go to shows. We'd love to do a Cambridge show. We'd love to maybe do the Risk London show if they're going ahead. I'm in talks with the organisers. I honestly don't know. They don't know. They're going to make decisions, I think, around August time. I am seeing other shows and other events just completely cancelling already, saying, no, we're not even going to bother, even if we could run it. And if you do run a show, will people go? Is it safe to go? I don't know. And I appreciate that pretty much doesn't tell you anything. But as soon as Wi-Fi Sheep and I can get out to an event, I want to meet you again in person. I want to show you TinyBASIC computers. I want to bring the things we always used to bring to shows. I really want to do that again, but we have to do it safely and it has to be economical for show organisers. So just, I guess, watch this space. And again, if you follow me on Twitter, it's at Wi-Fi Sheep on Twitter. I will keep you up to date on what is happening. So there we go. That brings you up to date on everything going on here on the channel. As always, thank you so much for liking and subscribing and your continued interest and support in everything we do here on Wi-Fi Sheep. If you haven't done already, please do like and subscribe. And remember, you can follow me on Twitter. It's at Wi-Fi Sheep. And if you want to support the channel and get access to additional content, hidden content libraries, and all the download stuff we do, including the resources for TinyBASIC computers, you can join me on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Wi-Fi Sheep. I will be back with more content right here on the channel real soon. So as always, thanks so much for your company and I will see you real soon. Until next time, bye for now.